Hey guys, this is OK Gaming here, and today I am back with another scripting tutorial. And today, I'm going to be trying to teach you about how to make a button in Roblox. Now, I know it may sound daunting for new players, but once again, I assure you, it is going to be okay. You are not going to die. Anyways, so yeah, let's just get straight into it. So before we start, just wanted to show you this good old button template I quickly made, because I was kind of panicking because I didn't have a lot of time, but hey, it's a pretty good button. Kind of like it. And yeah, it's just pretty good. So you may have actually seen this before, and this is actually from my games uh that I actually make on Roblox. So I guess you could check those out if you want. If not, that is totally okay. You can enjoy watching this video. So yeah, let's start. Now, the first thing you'll need is the button itself. So you'll need a part, at least one part. Of course, these are just for cosmetic reasons. It just makes it look a bit better. So yeah. Next, inside the parts, um, you the only thing you really will need is just the click detector and the script. Sound is optional because if you want to give the button a sound, then put it in the parts, and by using a script, will make the sound play. Or for now, you can ignore the sound, and you just have your click detector and your script. Now, first of all, what even in the world is click detector? Well, click detector is pretty self-explanatory. It detects clicks. So whenever you come up to it and you click the part, um, it if it is connected to a script, then the script will run. I'll also show you how to connect the script to the click detector in just a little bit. But before I do that, I have to quickly show you about I have to show you two properties of click detector. The first thing is max activation distance, and the other one is cursor icon. So max activation distance is just how far away um, a player must be, or sorry, how close a player must be, um, at least to click the button. So let's say I put this to 100. You could probably click this from like this far away. But let's say I turn it down to 10. You'd probably have to be around this close to touch it, or sorry, to click it. So that's pretty much what max activation distance does. The second thing about it is cursor icon. This is the icon that is on your mouse or on your cursor when you hover over this click detector or this part. So you can kind of see when I hover over this in Roblox Studio, you can see that my cursor has turned into a hand. This is pretty much what it will do for the button itself in game, but it may look a little bit different. Of course, this is a image value, I believe, so you can actually take any Roblox image and put it into there. So whenever you hover over the button, it will show that icon. Of course, when you hover off of it, then it would just go back to the normal cursor. So why not let's just find out how to connect a click detector to this script. Trust me, it is really easy. And just to make a basic button. So let's just get right into the scripting. So the first thing you'll need is to, of course, reference the click detector. Now, you could see that, of course, we're in the game, but then we have to reference workspace, and then the button group, because I wanted to group my parts into a button, into a model that is called button. So we'll have to reference that. And then we have to reference the part. And then after that, we have to reference the click detector. Now, as you can see, there are three different parts here. Now, because we are not cloning this button, actually, it doesn't really matter, but you can really just change this to anything, I guess. So I'm going to call this quicker, because, hey, it's a good name. So when I'm inside the script, the first thing I'll have to do is reference click detector. So I'll do just that by doing game.workspace.button.clicker .click detector. So this is basically saying, as I said, you're referencing the game, then you're referencing the workspace, then the button, then clicker, and then finally you're referencing click detector. Now, this is the part where Object Browser might come in handy. You see, if you go down to click detector, and go down here, you could see this event that is called MouseClick. This is the event that I'll be covering today. But it's basically, as the summary says, fired when a player clicks on the parent part of click detector. Now, of course, this does sound very complicated, but it's basically saying this event will happen when click detector's parent, aka clicker right here, so this thing right here, is clicked. So when this is clicked, that event will make something happen. So as you can see, it is called mouse click. So we do this dot mouse click. You see there's a little lightning bolt there, and that shows that it's an event, which is something that I can fire, I guess. Now after this, you have to say :connect function, and then have a open parentheses and then another closed parentheses, just to show that this is a function right here. Now let's just quickly go over this so you can actually so it's easier to understand. Just put in an end there so the script will actually recognize it. But we're referencing the click detector pretty much, and then this event right here, dot mouse click. So this is basically saying when the mouse is clicked. So when when the click detector in clicker is has been clicked, then do this, or actually connect and do whatever is inside here. So long story short, when sorry, you know what? I don't even need this. It's that simple. When clicker is clicked, when this thing right here, this green button right here, when this is clicked, whatever inside here is going to run, okay? Whatever inside this end and this game network button.clicker.click detector.mouse connect function, whatever is in between these two, that's going to run when it's clicked. So let's just make it simple and let's say print the button has been clicked. So if I run the game, and I click it, you can see that this my cursor has turned into a like finger pointing thing. That is the mouse icon doing its work. Now when I click it, you can see that in the output it says the button has been clicked. Of course, this is because we use this event right here and the :connect function. This is vital or essential to making this whole button work. If you just had :connect function, or just dot mouse click, if you didn't have both of these and you didn't reference click detector or the click detector, then this would have never worked. And right here, you have actually connected the click detector to the script because you referenced it and then you did :connect function. So let's do something that's actually a bit more realistic. Let's make the button turn. Actually, what? Let's make the button turn a random color. So to do this, it is actually quite simple. Now, I'm going to be using HSV, which is basically the hue, the saturation, and then the value. Now, if you don't know what these are, hue is basically the color spectrum, or in other words, if the hue was 0, then it would be red. If the hue was 1, it would be somewhere pink. If hue was 0.5, it would be blue. So it kind of goes through a color spectrum. And I believe I can show you one right here. Oh, wait, no. Right here. So this is the color spectrum, and you can actually see the hue, saturation, and value over here. You see if I move this plus sign, you can see that the hue, saturation, and values are, actually no. Yeah, the hue and saturation values are changing. The way to turn up and down value is actually by doing this over here, making it darker and brighter. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, actually what? Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Just had to do something really quick. Now let's get back to it. Let's get back into it. So to change this button's hue, we have to do math.random. Let's go 0, 10. You'll see why I do this in a second. After this, I'm going to say, actually, we're going to make this into a variable. Now, I'm going to quickly write down everything, and I'll explain after. Alright, and we are done. Alright, so let me quickly run over what I did right here. The first thing is that whenever this button is clicked, it is going to generate a random value from 0 to 10. So it could be 0, it could be 5, it could be 9, it could be 10, it could be 4, anything like that. And this number is going to be set to H. The next thing I did was I made another one called hue, and this is H divided by 10. Now, the reason I divided this by 10 is because the from HSV works on a spectrum from 0 to 1. In other words, the only way it can actually register a value inside here is if it was between 0 and 1, which means we will have to go into decimals. So let's say H was set to 4, hue would actually make it into a decimal by turning it to 0.4. This is what this does. It's basically the decimal maker. Then the third one is basically changing the color. So script.parent.color, so saying this thing's color right here, change it to a new one. So this time is instead of doing color3.new, we're saying from HSV. In other words, we're saying, oh, we're not doing new, we're not entering a RGB value or red, green, blue value. We're actually entering a hue saturation value. So that's pretty much what this does. And if you run the game and click the button, you can see that it actually changes color. Whoa, amazing. So once again, this works because when the button is clicked, it generates a random number from 0 to 10, makes it into a decimal, and then based on how high or how low this decimal value is, that will determine what the color is. So yeah, that is a basic tutorial on how to make a basic button in Roblox. Now, of course, you may be thinking, oh, maybe the button has a reload. This I will probably cover in future videos, so do not worry. I don't have much time, and I can't really explain it to you that fast, so I'll leave it to another video. But other than that, I hope this helps in some way. Have a great time scripting. Wishing you an amazing day. And I guess I'll see you in the next video. Bye.